Ah, Phil, just the man. What about this safety meeting on manual handling this morning?
Well, actually, I'm a bit nervous about it. But I've got these overheads to help me, so hopefully it's going to go okay.
Yeah, well, this I've got to see. Come on. Now, as you know, this week we're going to be moving a lot of gear on and off the floor. So Phil's going to do a talk on manual handling. Over to you, Phil.
I'm going to use this step change presentation to help show you what I mean. Okay, this morning's brief is all about manual handling, and what I'm about to show you will help you understand how to work more safely. Now, it's obvious that a drill floor is a dangerous place where heavy items of machinery get pulled and pushed around, get lifted and get pushed down. Items and activities that today are generally referred to as manual handling.
The drill floor is a hazardous place, especially when heavy gear is being pushed and pulled around in a busy, crowded environment, working under pressure.
And I don't just mean the more dramatic accidents, like getting your fingers nipped whilst using tongs, or getting stuck between a pipe and a pipe that's racked in the derrick.
It means something simple, as straining your back lifting a piece of gear that's too heavy. An accident that's not dramatic, but one that will put you off the job just the same.
Gone are the days when a bad back or a twisted knee were simply part of a drilling job, along with a missing finger or two. So how do we manage manual handling? How do we cut out the accidents?
There are 4 factors that make up a safe job. First of all, there's competency, giving people the training and the skill they need. The best way to avoid manual handling problems is to cut out the manual handling. Obviously, you can't eliminate it completely, but you can minimise and take advantage of mechanical help if it's there. For example, using a winch in the drill floor when you're tailing in heavy pipe. But don't be tempted to use a winch or anything like it unless you're competent to do so. So make sure you're trained.
The next step is planning. For routine jobs, there will already be an assessment available. But if the job is not routine, then take time to make a new assessment. Use pre-job meetings and toolbox talks to decide how you will solve a problem. And if the job changes, then take time to make a new assessment. There are 5 steps to planning. 1. There's the capability of the individual to think about the job and the consequences. 2. There's the task. Is it a one-off, or is it something that will be done many times?
Step 3. What equipment is there that could eliminate manual handling, or at least make it easier? Step 4. What about the load? How heavy is it? Is it an awkward shape? And finally, step 5. What about the working environment? Is it congested? Are there other jobs going on at the same time? Will other people be affected? Once the job starts, the important thing is application. Making sure you actually do the job the way you planned it. That means wearing the right PPE, never trying to handle something too big or awkward, and if you're lifting something, do it the right way.
Keep your back straight and use your legs. You've been told it hundreds of times and seen dozens of posters. Everyone has. But bad backs are still one of this industry's commonest problems. Doing it right also means keeping what you're lifting close to your body and not twisting or overreaching with things. If you've got to move something that's not routine, then before you start, work out which way you're going to go with it, where you're going to put it down, and where you might want to stop for a rest.
The fourth and final factor in a safe job is monitoring. It means that supervisors especially should be checking frequently that manual handling is being done correctly. But don't just leave it to them. Watch out for yourself and keep an eye on your workmates. It may be macho to pull and push things about rather than use a mechanical aid, but there's nothing macho about hobbling about with a bad back. Monitoring also means keeping a record of near misses, so that you can learn from them and make sure they don't happen again. Cutting out the accidents and injuries that happen in manual handling should be easy, but it's not, because what it needs is a change in behaviour and the way we do things. Changing the way we behave is very difficult. We just have to keep working at it. With pre-job meetings, manual handling risk assessments, toolbox talks, making a positive start to every shift and communication. There are these manual handling prompt cards. They have colour-coded sections like traffic lights. Red means stop and check, never assume. Yellow means caution, think about the guidance points, while green lists the positive actions to make sure the job can go ahead safely, efficiently, and be right first time. Compared with manual handling, the hazards involved in other jobs, like using power tools, working at height, pressure testing, and so on, are much more obvious. But the risks of injury are there, and real enough. You're much more likely to know someone who's off work with a bad back or a bad knee than someone who's been hurt doing what seems to be a more hazardous job.
So take it seriously. Do the risk assessment. Use the mechanical aids. Don't lift things that are too heavy or awkward. If you have to lift things, lift them properly, so that at the end of your shift, you can walk off, not be stretchered off. So please, let's use these.
That was brilliant, Phil, brilliant. I couldn't have put it better myself. Well done, pal. Look forward to working with you, eh?